Be honest with me for a second. Are you the woman at work who always figures things out, who always solves the problems and make a way out of no way? Yeah, you probably just call that doing your job. Or maybe it's just a random Tuesday at work. But I want to offer you a different way of looking at it. And then I want to talk to you about what could be actually missing because it's not what you think. If you're new here, I'm Erica Prevail, and I talk about lifestyle design for ambitious women. I talk about modern work culture and how I cured myself from corporate brain rot. I also talk about wellness and I talk about creativity. So today we are going to get into some things, but first let's get into today's tea of the day. Today I have a blueberry tea. Now I have never had blueberry tea before, but I had this like fruit tea sampler packet and blueberry was in there. So I was like, let's give it a try. It's definitely different. It smells like that, like grape cough syrup that we used to have as kids. So the smell is not the most delicious, but it tastes okay. I'll give it a try. I probably won't try it again, but I'll give it a try today. So today I want to talk about some things and I have something to tell you. You are already creative. Yes, you, the ambitious, driven woman who's watching this video, you are already creative and you have been creative your whole entire life. Yes, you have. And don't even click off this video. Stay right here because I'm talking to you. The way you solve problems, the way you lead, the way you negotiate, the way you manage, the way you pull presentations together out of nothing. The way that you problem solve, the way that you find solutions, that is all creativity. It's just applied creativity. And you've gotten really, really good at it. Many ambitious women just like you have the same thing. But applied creativity, that's the type of creativity that produces something but does not give anything back to you. Okay? And it asks you for something. It asks you to produce something. It asks you to execute something. It asks you to do some type of output without refilling or restoring you. Oops, sorry, I just kicked the camera. But that's what that type of creativity is. Applied creativity gives you nothing back. It just asks for a deliverable at the end and then sends you on your way tired and exhausted. And I know because I did this for many years, so many other ambitious women are doing it as well. We just don't think of creativity in this way. When we think of creativity, we mostly think about artistic creativity when we are doing applied creativity all day long. By the end of your workday, you have made dozens, sometimes maybe even hundreds of creative decisions, and you haven't even thought about it that way. And that type of creativity also clearly adds to your exhaustion. But this is what I want you to think about. I want you to think about back to the time when you were a little girl, well before your career and well before the responsibilities and well before you had to be excellent at everything that you do. There was probably something that you enjoyed doing that was just for you. Maybe you were a writer. Maybe you cooked, maybe you baked, maybe you played an instrument, maybe you built things, maybe you created things. Whatever it was just for you. Just think about that. Just think about back to that time. I remember all of the things that I used to do as a little girl. I was a creative little girl, and I was blessed because I had a grandmother who really cultivated my creativity in a major way. I still credit her for me having the creative DNA in me to this day. And you probably had something again like that for yourself when you was a little girl. Just somewhere along the way, it got deprioritized. It got deprioritized to the career climbing, to the responsibilities, to the achievement, to the success. And it just vanished. It vanished from your life. And I want you to just think about that for a second and think about how that activity or whatever that thing was that you did, that you thought about when you were a little girl, how did that make you feel? And now I want you to think about that Pinterest board that you have on your phone right now, where you've pinned all these things and saved them for later that you never went back to. Or think about that thing that you've been curious about that you still haven't tried yet. Or that class that you almost signed up for, but you just brushed it aside and was like, nah, maybe later. That curiosity, it is not random. That's your creativity trying to get your attention, and we continue to bury it. I say we because that used to be me as well. It used to be me. When I was on my sabbatical, if you've been watching my videos, if you're new here, I burnt out in a corporate leadership career many years ago, in 2022. And I took a 1 year sabbatical to really heal my mind and body. But during that time, I was also on a place of self-discovery and redesigning my life, getting clear on how I wanted to work and live. Excuse me. And during that time, after I started feeling better, got off the anxiety medications. Yeah, girl, because I was on anxiety medications just to go to work. It was bad, my burnout. I was 60 pounds overweight. I lost the weight and I started feeling better, started thinking clearer. I started getting back into my creative practices, like just for fun. I started writing again. Excuse me. But I started writing again just for fun. I started getting back into style and fashion. I started, what else? What, girl, I did so many things. So I started painting again. Painting is something that I always love to do. Again, not to be an expert at it, not to be perfect at it, but to just give myself what my mind, body, and spirit had been calling for. And when I started tapping back into my creative practices, girl, it just really felt like something opened up in me, like it was a drain that had been sealed off for years and closed, was finally open and flowing. And it was just a level of freedom that I just had not felt in a long time. It felt like I was finally able to move after being stuck in like mud for years after years. And here comes my creativity back by tapping into this thing, feeling like a springtime afternoon shower or rain that just washed the mud away. It just felt really freeing to me. And I realized that creativity wasn't something I'd been missing, because it really just opened me up in ways that I had just forgot about climbing the corporate ladder, thinking, what can I achieve next? Going after the next bonus, like all the things that we are taught to do as ambitious women. Girl, it is so hot in Florida that I have the air conditions so low that I need a sweater on in summer in Florida. So don't mind me, girl. That's why I got this sweater on. And it's like it go from warm to too cold, warm, and now I'm pulling up the sleeves. So girl, don't mind me. But tapping back into my creativity was just a opening in my life that my life needed. And I was so glad that I had given myself the time in the space to really start exploring the type of creativity that filled my cup versus always just pouring into the creativity that's applied, that's needed for output, execution, productivity, performance, all of those things. And it just made me, I don't know, it made me feel so much alive again. And again, I've talked about this on other videos. Excuse me. Know what's going on? That my creativity is such a big part of my life and my work. And when I was going through, redesigning my life and getting clear on what I wanted my work and life to look like, I knew that I could not go back. Girl, excuse me. Excuse me, girl, I had to clear my throat, so I cut that coughing part out. But tapping back into my creativity was just something that I needed after realizing, after years and years and over a decade, I just had been pouring so much creativity outward in an applied way and doing very, very little to none of pouring back into myself creatively in a way that filled my cup. And what I want you to understand is that oftentimes, even if you see yourself as a creative or you don't see yourself as a creative, what I'm telling you, girl, is that you're using your creativity every single day in all the ways that I've shared with you, especially if you're an ambitious, driven corporate professional. But what I want you to understand is the creativity that you need for yourself is not like some side dish or some dessert that you have on the side when you have time or when you can fit it in. Girl, actually, sometimes it's the main dish that is going to give you the fuel to keep showing up for yourself in a way that's healthy and aligned. And particularly, this is especially for the woman who is already feeling exhausted, feeling depleted, feeling like you're running on empty. Restorative creativity is actually one of the most powerful things that can be available to you. And sometimes it's not going to be relaxing. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it's not this relaxing thing that you imagine that it's going to be, but it accesses a part of yourself that nothing else can give you. That part of you that's not performing, that's not achieving, that's not executing, that's not delivering. This part of your creativity that is just for you. And when that part of you gets to take a deep breath in and to breathe, even if it's just for a little while, something shifts. It definitely shifted for me. And you start to feel less like a machine, less like a robot, and more like a full human being that you are. I think oftentimes we so much forget that we are actual human beings, not human doings, but we get so wrapped up in the doing and the executing and the achievement and all of the things. And I know, again, because I was there, I was this exact person. And feeling that way isn't sustainable. So that's why you need to tap back into that creativity that pours back into you. And here's what I know about you. Yes, you, the woman that's watching this video right now. What I know about you is a few things. I know it's not because you don't have time. I know it's because you don't know where to start. I know it's because you're not chasing kids around the house because your kids are either grown and out the house or you don't have kids. You actually have more space than you actually give yourself permission to see. You just haven't made tapping into creativity in this way a priority for you. You just haven't done it. And I get it. I understand why. Because sometimes it could be we could think of it as just something else on our to-do list that we need to accomplish. But when you take the time to really sit down and try something creative just for you in a way where you're spending time with yourself in a way that matters, that means something. And that reframe helps shifts how you move in the future. This might be one of the things that matters to you most. Because, like my grandmother used to say, you can't keep pouring from an empty cup. You have to find ways to fill your cup. And when you are pouring creatively, even if it was a way that you had not realized, I've shared with you already. So now you know you've been pouring in this way and not filling your cup back up creatively. You end up in a place where you feel very exhausted, tired, disconnected, and then you sit on your phone, doom scrolling, melting into the couch, consuming all of the content, and waiting until things slow down, you feel a little better, whatever that is, until you do something for yourself. And then that day never comes and you get into that cycle. So you have to actually do something. You have to get up. You have to make something, create something just for you. And you don't have to know what you're doing. That's the most common thing that I sometimes hear, like, I don't know where to start. And my answer is, it doesn't matter where you start. Just go find something. Again, something that pick something that, again, you used to enjoy when you were a child, coloring, skating, baking. I remember being in the kitchen with my grandmother, helping her ice and frost cakes and putting sprinkles on cakes. And I just remember doing those things as a small child with my grandmother and doing all types of art projects. But even if you can't think of something back when you were a child, try something new. Be a beginner at something. This isn't about being perfect. This isn't about being an artist. This isn't about any of that. This is about finding something creative that pours back into you. And the goal is not to be good at it. The goal is not to try to be an expert or master this, okay? That is not the goal. The goal is just for you to do something that you enjoy, that pours back into yourself. And you don't even have to finish it. Girl, I have so many art projects in my little craft corner that are unfinished, and I like it that way. I like starting something and not finishing it, because that's not the goal. It's for me to go. It's for me to paint, to express, and to pick it back up. Excuse me, to pick it back up when I feel like it. So that's not the goal either. The goal isn't always to finish something, to be good at it, to be an expert at it, or to master it. When I reconnected with my creativity, I wasn't good at painting. I had lost my little touch. Some of the things I paint now turn out pretty good. But again, that's not the goal. The goal was that I tried. I just kept trying. And then it started flowing, especially with my style and creativity. I meant my style and fashion that I've always been into. And I lost that over the years. And then I created a style blog that was supposed to be just for fun. Where I went wrong is that I monetized it, and then it just ruined the whole thing. But that's why I'm really harping on not trying to be an expert at it, not trying to master it, not trying to definitely not monetize it, but just have something just for you. Allow curiosity to be the only requirement. Allow expression to be the only requirement. Allow joy or fun or peace or ease to be the only requirement. And if you want a guided place to start, I'm hosting something called The Refill. It's going to be a guided creative experience hosted and facilitated by me. And this is for women like you who have been pouring outwardly with little to no space to pour back into herself. It's going to be a live 75-minute guided creative experience where we're going to talk through some things. We're going to talk through creativity. We're going to have some reflection. We're going to have some girl talk. And then I'm going to guide you through a creative practice that is just for you. Artistic skills are not required. This is not what this is about. You're going to be using things that you already have in your home. You come as you are, no performance. Nothing is required but for you to show up. And if this is a space that you're interested in, I've linked the link down in the description. It's going to be happening on Sunday, July. Just join my newsletter, the Easeful Ambitious. Can't speak. The Easeful Ambition Collective. Join my newsletter, and I'll keep you up to date on when additional refill sessions will be happening in the future. And what I really want to say is that you do not have to have everything all figured out. This is a space for you to come, be with other women who get it, be in the room with me, have your tea like I'm having, and be guided through a creative practice that is rooted in something that is just for you. Again, if that's something that you're interested in, I've linked it down in the comments and the description box. Also, I'm really, really excited about this session because if you've been here while I was on my 100-day journey during YouTube, 100, girl, if you were here while I was doing my 100-day YouTube journey, after those 100 days, I facilitated a space called the Check-In Live that was off YouTube. So we could just check in with the women, see how everyone was feeling. And when I held that space, I didn't know if anyone would show up, but 3 women show up. It was such a nourishing, safe space. And I know that this session is going to be even better because I've curated this session. I was a few weeks ago while I was designing the experience flow. I was just so excited on what this is going to be. So again, if this is something that you're interested in, Jesus, I don't know why I am so tongue-tied today. If this is something that you're interested in, I've linked it down in the description box. And if you're watching this at a later date, beyond July 13th, join my newsletter, the Easeful Ambition Collective, or I can keep you up to date on these things and you won't miss out. But what I want to bring home to you as I close is that applied creativity is what you're using every single day in your careers. It is simply stated, it is you using your imagination to solve real life problems. And you do that all day long in your work. But restorative creativity is the creativity that pours something back into you. And it's not just for creative people. It's for women just like you. And if you're a woman who has been feeling exhausted, feeling a little bit disconnected from herself, a little bit tired, you might be in a season of transition, or you're just curious about wanting to do things differently in your life. I really think that finding ways to pour back in yourself creatively is a fantastic first start. And if you're the woman who never really knows where to begin, this is also a first start. Like I said, just allow your curiosity to be the guide. Allow your expression to be the guide. Look at all of those things on your Pinterest board or YouTube videos or social media videos that you've saved that have interest you. Go back to those and to try something new, because I think a lot of us get stuck there and we don't know how to move forward. But I think once you start, again, starting is always the key. You can start to get your footing, and then you can start to get unstuck out of the mud. Like I said earlier, when I felt like I was stuck in the mud, you can start to get stuck in it. And again, the feeling when I described it, when I started tapping back into my creativity, it was that it felt like a drain that had been closed off for so long had just finally been opened, and it just felt amazing. It felt amazing. It felt freeing. And I just dedicated from that day forward that I would never allow that drain to be cut off again. Again, I pour so much out in my career still because I'm still navigating a 9 to 5 while building a business, and I pour out creatively in so many ways. And now you're aware that you do the same in applied creativity and how you solve problems, that I'm always making sure that I'm pouring back into myself, doing creative things that really light me up and brings me joy. Because sometimes all it takes is the right person presenting something to you that you didn't know you needed, offering you a hand. I'm offering you a hand, and the right experience to come into the room, experience a little bit of a creative rest for sure by pouring back into yourself and allowing the drain to yourself to be opened. If anything in this video resonated with you, give this video a like, drop some comments down in the comments below. If you're interested in the refill, I would love to have you in the room on July 13th. And if not, join the newsletter so you can stay abreast on all the things that I offer. I also go behind the scenes and talk about things a little bit deeper with my newsletter audience than I do here on YouTube. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can always join the newsletter as well. Until the next video, I'll talk to you later. Bye.